Tabletop RPG rulebooks and systems can seem big and intimidating. On Too Long Didn't Play, we break down the seemingly complex content of tabletop RPGs in about 5 minutes so you can decide if you want to check a system out in more detail. "Hoist sail!" the captain shouts as he points his sword to the green, glimmering ship in the distance. The crew starts to slide into action as a distant explosion whoops across the water before the crack of boards and the rupture of beams drowns out whatever final order the captain may have shouted. Instead of the normal spray of spittle from the captain, the deck is covered with gristle, blood, and bone near where he stood. The half-flayed skull of the captain rolls across the deck, landing at the feet of Ira Tidalwave Demore. She picks up the captain's hat, unhooks a dangling ear, and dons it. Looking out across the wave, she mutters, "Belay that order. Man the cannons. Let's show these ghosts a true death. Welcome, my friends, to Pirate Borg." Limithron's Pirate Borg is a standalone game by Luke Stratton that takes the grim reality of Merkborg and keelhauls it, scraping off the skin and rebuilding it in an alternative dark Caribbean. Just like Merkborg, character creation is swift because your shipboard scalawag of a character will very likely find a watering grave at some point, and you'll need to make a new one. But you start by simply rolling for what background you have. It could be the sword-bearing swashbuckler, the hulking brute, or the tremendous tall tale. And then you roll 3d6 for your 5, that's right, 5 abilities: agility, presence, strength, toughness, and spirit. If you're familiar with Merkborg, you'll note that spirit is a new stat ability which controls magic in Pirate Borg, and it's a great addition that we'll touch on shortly. Your class will modify some of these abilities, so make sure you note those on your character sheet and then roll your meager hit points, a background, and a personality trait. Acquire some starting equipment and you'll be ready to hit the high seas. You can pick a name for your character, but honestly, I typically just roll for it also because honestly, I don't want to get too attached to most of my Pirate Borg or Merkborg characters. In games like Pirate Borg, you don't want to overthink your character too much. You're going to have enough to start with on your character sheet. The core mechanics of the game are going to be familiar to anyone who's ever played a D20 plus stat game. You want to roll at or above a target number given to you by the GM to succeed, and rolling under that fails. But unlike in some other system, all the rolls in Pirate Borg are player facing, so the GM rarely ever needs to roll. Also, if you do poorly, you have a limited amount of Devil's Luck that you have access to each day, letting you re-roll or manipulate the success of your roll. But let's be honest, you want to know how ships work. There are a number of areas in which Pirate Borg shimmers like a pile of doubloons on the beach, and ship combat is one of them. Limithron's whole focus of their design background is making ship combat that sings like a well-rehearsed shanty, and Luke brings the focus to bear in Pirate Borg. Ships have a very direct set of stats and options that do the two things I think every ship combat rules really need to do. 1, they let each player have something to do on their turn, and 2, they reward the crew for working together. The rules are very similar to character roles, but with ship agility or stats sometimes replacing personal agility in a number of cases. In our actual play with Luke, we experienced this right out of the gate as our ship was chased into the Coral Islands by a ghost ship. We started out trying to outrun it, but that ship outpaced us, and so soon we had to fight back against the spectral skeletons and send them to a watery grave. The other area that absolutely has to get mentioned is the addition of that 5th spirit stat. There are a lot of great reasons to do this, the main one being the addition of high damage pistols and cannons to ranged weapons that presence would normally control, and magic, making that an overloaded stat. But this shift that Luke has made with the magic system is tremendous. In Merkborg, there are both dark rituals, which are high risk, high reward magics you can learn and use spirit as their governing stat, but there's also relics, which are not quite as powerful, but they probably won't kill you if you need a little help in a pinch. Overall, this standalone Merkborg compatible game brings a ton of amazing pieces together that let you build a dark set of islands for your crew to adventure in like pieces of a treasure map, or you can just drop them into your current Merkborg or really any other OSR game. So if you, my friend, want to cruise across dark and dangerous waters, steal treasures from king and cur alike, if you want to hoist the mainstay and swing from the rigging, if you want to deal with dark rituals, angry spirits, and find out what lurks beneath the waves, then yar, me salty dog, are ready for Pirate Borg. Thanks for watching. I'm Tony Vasinda, Chief Alchemist over at Plus One Exp, where we multi-class in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. If you have thoughts about Pirate Borg, or there's a system you want to know more about but don't have time to learn, let us know in the comments below or at Plus One Exp on any social media platform. And remember, if you want to know when we have more treasures to talk about, slap the bell, and we'll let you know the next time the tide drags one in. Here at Plus One, we want to create professional quality content for designers of all sizes. If you want to help us create content for small or even first-time game designers, consider supporting our team over on Ko-fi.